Good morning. Hi. I am Kara Crawford's grandmother, better known as Mimi, and she asked me to share a few things with you about a story about my youth or younger days. Uh, I grew up on the Huntington College in Montgomery, Alabama campus. I lived in the faculty apartments there from the time I was in the 5th grade on through high school. Uh, we moved there, and the first thing we heard about was the Red Lady of Huntington College, which was better known as a haunted ghost that lived there in one of the dorms there. Found out that dorm was extremely close to where I lived. There was just a little pecan grove between us. I actually could not see the building, but I knew it was very close by. And if I was going anywhere on the campus, I had to walk through that area, which was always scary to me, always eerie to me, always ghostly to me, and especially if it was close to dark. Most of the time, I went with somebody else or I ran. Uh, Actually, the first ghost was in the Tuskegee, where the Huntington College started, but we won't go into details on that one because the one I knew about was the one that was at the college, at the main campus in Montgomery, and that was campus was started in 1910. It seems that there was a lady that moved down there from New York. She was a young girl and she was going to be a student at Huntington because her daddy insisted that she come to Huntington. She was from a very wealthy family. Her grandmother had graduated from Huntington, and so it was a must that she go there. She got there wearing red, had a red parasol, had red curtains, had red drapes, had red bathrobe, had everything that she owned was red. She was very, very timid when she got there. She did not talk to anybody. She wouldn't say anything to anybody. But this is the way she looked. See it? Okay, her name was Martha, and she had different roommates there. The first roommate she had stayed with her a little while, but not too long before she realized she was quite different and quite unusual. Now, they were living on the 4th floor of Pratt Hall, which is this dorm right here, and they were right at the top in one of the corner rooms. She changed roommates several times because she could not get along with anybody. She wouldn't speak to anybody. She wouldn't talk to anybody. And finally, the lady that was actually the president of the dorm, who could get along with everybody, she decided to move in with her and give it a real try. So she did. She moved in with her and tried really, really hard to get along with her, and did for quite a while. And it just did not work out. So she finally moved out also. During the time she was with a roommate, all the little roommates and other people in the dorm, they would come and see her. And she had things from turkey in her room. She had little red figurines on the bookshelf. But most everything had red all over it. That was all it was red. Well, after this president of the dorm tried living with her for quite a while and it did not work, then she decided to move out. And she was going to slip out one day from Martha. Well, Martha came in just as she was leaving and got very upset. And this is Martha, and with her leaving. Can you see them? She got so upset that she turned to she turned to the dorm president and said, "For the rest of your life, you'll regret leaving this room." And sure enough, for the rest of her life, she did regret leaving that room. First of all, she felt very guilty for leaving this girl. She felt like she needed her, but she did leave her anyway. She was a very sad girl. She had nothing to do with anybody, anywhere, anytime. She always had on red. She always looked with red, and she just minded her own business. And all of a sudden, she didn't show up anywhere for the day and the night and the next day. So at that point, the president of the dorm got really worried about her. And she went to check on her. And she had a real guilt feeling about it. But she went down the hall. She went to looking for her. She went right down and she would ease down there. And she was beginning to see lights, red lights coming out from the transom at the top. And finally she got down there and she opened the door. And when she did, she found Martha on the floor, dead, with red bedspread on her, with a red robe wrapped around her, and blood all over the floor and everywhere. She had carried out her threat by slashing her wrist and bleeding to death. This happened a long time ago, but the students at Huntington say that on the date of Martha's suicide each year, rays of crimson light flash down from over her transom, and the Red Lady in her bizarre clothing returns to haunt the halls of Pratt Hall at Huntington College. Now, that's what I grew up with, and it was always fun, always leery, but it was just a folklore, and I enjoyed it and had fun with it. But they are always interesting, the folklores are. They're never dull. Good night. Goodbye. Thank you.